Alrighty, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in today. My name is Tony. I'm with MyRepairApp, and with me here, I got Taylor, I got Jason, and Eric, and other people as well. But what we want to do is kind of quickly go through some uh, features inside of MyRepairApp that users have asked questions about, and then we'll open it into a more general onboarding training, and then open it up to Q&A. And so what I want to cover is after last week's training, we asked and we put out a poll, what features would you want us to discuss the most? And so we did have three-ish features that got the most votes. So we're going to be covering how to create a quote, invoices and collecting payments from customers, purchase orders and low stock alerts, as well as inventory management and supplier integrations. Before I get started on any of this, just want to let you guys know, if you go to YouTube and type in um, my repair app. Actually, I'm going to share my screen. I want to let you know you can find videos on pretty much everything. We have a lot of videos on pretty much every feature. So, although we're going to be covering this here, if you ever want to revisit this or have a more deep dive explanation on virtually any feature, we do have this. So, can you guys see the YouTube? Cool. So yeah,
Yes.
so
Yep.
YouTube.com, right? It's just my repair app. And so we have videos on everything. So if you want to know what's the latest and greatest, or what we have here, we have this onboarding video. So it's a full-blown video and it's got timestamps. I know it's scary looking at 35 minutes, but it's timestamped every like other minute. So it does break down each individual feature. So that way, if you're looking for something very specific or particular, such as the topics we're covering today, most, if not all, are there. And then if they're not, as we add new features, we have them here as well. So just want to let you know if you ever have any questions and you want to see how things work, we do update this pretty frequently with new content. All right, so quotes, invoices, and collecting payments. So we do have the ability to create invoices and send customers invoices, as well as recurring payments. So that way, it's just easy, right? So we have that built into the system. In order to do that, we are integrated with Slice, which is MyRepairApp Payments. And if you haven't switched over to MyRepairApp Payments for credit card processing, definitely reach out to Taylor because we will beat any credit card rate you have. I mean, we have not had a single customer yet tell us, oh, we haven't lost a single person. We haven't lost a single lead. Every single person that's ever said, "Hey, I'm paying X, you can't beat it." We have beaten it. We have saved every single person a substantial amount of money. Some people even many hundreds per store per month in fees. So definitely reach out to Taylor. We can beat your rate. We also have though the cash discount program where you can actually pay 0% credit card fees. But again, Taylor can always go over that with you, and maybe we can go over that more in depth next week as well, just a breakdown of that. But in order to do invoicing, I'll show you guys, and then I'll do a couple. I will cover a couple things, and then I'll hand it off to Taylor. But with the invoicing and quotes, so you would go to tickets. You're going to hover over that, and you're going to select invoices. So this is where you're going to manage all your invoices. You'll see invoices. You'll see anything pending, anything live. So you'll see the status here, whether it's paid or unpaid. If you want to create an invoice and send it to your customer, just press this button here. It'll display your store's information that you have set in settings, and it's pretty straightforward, right? It looks like a regular invoice. So if this customer is already in your system, you would just put information in here, and if they're not, then you would just create a new customer, just like you would when you're creating a new ticket. Real easy, real simple. If you need to make any edits, hit the edit button, and you can make the changes here. And I wonder, oh yeah, and you can actually text them directly from here as well. But we'll go over that another day. So in order to make an invoice, it's real simple. Again, invoice due date, just select the day. So let's say, hey, you want to pay today. If you are, let's say you're doing like mail-in repair or something like that, you can ship devices to people and you can actually select here you can go ahead and just put in the information and it'll track the shipping number and all that stuff. So recurring
And
charges,
sorry,
go ahead.
if you have the ship station
I was just
integration,
yeah, I was gonna say
you
we do have a
can,
ShipStation
yeah.
integration. So you can actually, again, we do have a video on YouTube about that. You can just ship directly from MyRepairApp, create the label through MyRepairApp, and it tracks the shipping number and just makes it easier. It's all versus you having to create it on a different portal, copy and paste the shipping number, which you probably might forget to, or maybe if you accidentally even miss one number, then all of a sudden it's wrong. Doing it through MyRepairApp is actually faster, and it ensures that you don't potentially miss and lose that tracking number. Just makes it a lot easier.
Hi, how are you?
Well, how are you?
Doing okay.
I am going to
Very
mute that individual. Sorry, Derek, I'm muting you. All right, so with the invoices, you're gonna right here frequency. So you can do one-time charge, monthly, bi-month, bi-weekly, or weekly. So if we're just doing a one-time charge, you can charge. You don't have to do anything here in the custom amount if you are selling a service or product from My Repair App. Meaning, if I'm like, hey, we're doing whatever, just for the heck of it, right? I'm doing iPhone 11 screen repair, and I don't have it in my system. But if I did, let's say I'm charging this much because I'm awesome. So it would do like this, and you can leave custom amount as zero. Or if you are just charging, a one-time fee for something, you can put that there and it'll adjust appropriately. All you need to do is put in something in the subject, and then a description, right? Whatever it is. Again, this is whatever you're doing. You just want to make sure you have that filled out, and then you can send the invoice. You can also do recurring payments. So if you decide to do monthly, biweekly, or weekly, right here on the top right, you'll see the recurring day charge. So regardless of what you chose, you can choose what day you want them to pay you on. So for instance, let's say I do every Monday, I want this person to pay me $50, right? For whatever services every 2 Mondays. And right next to the recurring charge date, I would select the period and I can do, hey, I want them to pay me this much for the next 5 years because I'm offering some sort of web services or whatever. And then you send the invoice and it's going to get sent over. And then from the customer's perspective, they will see this and then they will put in their card information and pay. And then as soon as they pay, you get an email notification that they paid you. It's as simple as that. It's pretty straightforward. I don't think it's anything different. Eric, yes, hello, sir.
Yeah. So what's the most frequent use of an invoice for shops that you see? Like, why do people use this in practice? Like, what types of services do you see it's used
Yeah,
for?
perfect. So a few different reasons. I would say a lot of shops do some level of B2B repair. But also my personal favorite is if a customer is maybe too far away from the store, right? There's just a long drive for them to come in and put a deposit on something. So let's say a customer calls in, hey, I want to get my iPhone 16 Pro Max screen and back glass repaired. But me as a shop, maybe I don't have that part in stock. However, I get the customer to commit to paying X amount of dollars, but I don't want to order the part without them committing and giving me some money. It's really, really dangerous to take payment over the phone because they can easily just dispute that and it's 100% loss. So if you take a payment over the phone and you dial in their card number, if they dispute that charge, you 100% lose. There is no way in the world, maybe fine, maybe the 99.9, but you will lose that dispute. If you send an invoice, this is something that the credit card company approves of. It is an approved method of payment. It is much more likely that you will not lose a chargeback. Again, I can't guarantee anything, but this is a way safer route, but also it's way better than just, yeah, Mr. Customer, give me your card information over the phone and typing it in versus giving them a detailed invoice so both parties understand exactly what's being quoted. Because if you just take a invoice or a deposit over the phone, yeah, give me $50, and then when the customer comes in, they're like, "Wait, hold on, you never told me it's going to be $475 for the repair. You said 275." So it avoids miscommunications, lowers the risk of chargebacks because this is like, well, Mr. Customer, per this invoice, it's very, very specific as far as what we're charging you. So it just eliminates a lot of headaches and it's way more scalable than telling your employees, hey, I want you to type in their card numbers. This is easier because I may have taken the deposit. The day the customer comes in to do the repair, it might be in a different employee. I may not be at work. Eliminates
Hmm.
them having to call and go, hey, what the heck were we doing for this customer? There's no notes, there's no nothing. This is be very self-explanatory what we're doing for that customer, and it just streamlines the entire operation.
So invoices tell me if this is right. Invoices are more built for like not instant payments, repairs that will take longer over time, business to business. Does that sound right? Or I'm missing something there?
No, you could do that as well. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of guys will do they'll do a mail-in. They'll do like, whatever, an HDMI port for another shop or whatever, or
Hmm.
so on and so forth. Or I mean, I'm not a fan, but I've seen people do it where they'll sell a customer something and they'll ship it to them. And so this is a way
Yeah.
of just, avoiding like eBay fees or whatever.
Okay.
Yep.
And then if you don't have a credit card hooked up, can you still do invoices or there's some difficulty with that?
Say that
Like,
again.
does it
Sorry.
slow you down? I think I know Gonzalo's shop was saying there's like something like no configured virtual terminal
Yeah.
found.
So if they don't,
Please.
yeah. So if they want to do this, they just need to get MyRepairApp payments and then just let us know so we can configure it. Takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so that's the
yeah. So
first step of doing invoices. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they have to have our credit card terminal because this is not like a universal. It goes to our system.
Hmm.
And this is for this, but also for any other situation. If anyone ever has any questions about why something is the way it is, as a reminder, right here, you hit this button and you can contact us directly. So that way it just streamlines it goes to us, our support staff, as well as our engineers. So whether it's like just a question or maybe a suggestion or a bug report, this goes to the proper person and everything's tracked. Just easy to maintain all that. So that's the
Great.
invoicing. And then quotes. In fact, I actually posted a couple of videos about it literally in the last 2 days on my page. So I would just watch those. So, and for the sake of time, but basically, we have a widget that you can put on your website, even if you're a free user. And when the quotes come in, you get a notification that'll pop up here. You get an audible ding. You receive an email, and then you can see all the notes. So this one right here, right, it says screen broke and the ink spilled all over. You can create a ticket, edit the quote, contact them. You can see the contact method. We have plenty of videos about this, so really easy to set up. It's just copy paste the iframe from settings. Any questions there, Jason? Do you see any questions or anything like that? I don't know if you're monitoring anything.
No, I don't see any questions. But one thing I think is important to know about the quotes, in general, is the reason why we have such a responsive method is because the conversion rate, whenever you're actually contacting the customer within the first 5 to 10 minutes, is like 4x.
Yeah.
So that customer is way more likely to come in because when you think about the type of repair they're calling for, it's I broke my phone, I need this done so that I can use my device, right? So the faster you can respond to the customer, the more likely they are to come in, and the more likely you are to be able to either control the price a little bit better or provide a better customer experience.
Yeah, even further to expand on that even further. When he says 4x, that's like the difference of responding within 5 minutes and 20 minutes. It doesn't take long because you think about the customer's journey. Broke my phone, I'm on the website, get my phone fixed. I want to get a quote. I'm pressing get a quote because I'm expecting it's going to tell me the price. It's not going to tell them the price because as soon as they know the price, they're not going to contact you. They're going to go straight to the other website. So it's completely pointless to display the price. So they press it, expecting, anticipating a price, and then it says, "Thanks so much. We'll reach out to you." So A, if you don't reach out to them, you're a liar, right? You just said I'm going to reach out to you, which is not great. But B, they're like, "Oh, I didn't get a price." Well, then maybe these people will give me a price, and they go to the next website. They're still on their phone. Now they're on the next website. So if you contact them within just those couple of minutes, they haven't had a chance to reach out to your competitor. But if you contact them in 15, 20 minutes, there's a very real chance they already reached out to maybe two of your competitors. And so now at that point, you're playing a losing battle, right? Now it's bottom of the barrel pricing, who's cheapest, rather than contacted them within 20 seconds. Hey, Eric, yeah, I just saw your quote come in. You said you broke your iPhone 15 Pro Max screen. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We can totally help. How did that happen? All of a sudden, the customer's like, oh, great. They can fix my problem. Now it's your salesmanship to get them in the door. So that's why this quote widget, the instant quote widget, is so valuable and why it's so exciting that we're giving this to anyone, even if you're just using my repair app completely free. You don't have to pay for that. But that we've had users start earning literally thousands of dollars more in revenue a month when they started responding to quotes within 5 minutes. So this one thing
Mm.
alone could be more impactful than virtually anything you can do without you investing a single dollar into your business extra.
And it's about calling them too as well. I always like to suggest like even if they ask for a text or email, call them. call them
Absolutely.
and go through the process like Tony just said, right? It's that phone call making people feel comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. People may say, call, email me, text me. It's contrary to popular belief. I don't think it's disrespectful to call them because what's going to happen if you text or email, chances are they're going to go, what's the price? And you can't have a conversation. If all you talk about is price, you don't have the opportunity to talk about the qualities that you offer, whether you have soft OLED or not, right? Do you offer genuine OEM? And conveying that message over text is tough. When you want to talk about value and your warranty and the fact that you have it in stock, you can get it done same day. All they care about is price, 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 price. It's a losing battle. And I've
And
never,
like for me, it's like if it was me and I got that phone call, I'm somebody who would pay a little bit more to feel comfortable and trust that person that I can give them my phone and make sure that they're not going to do anything else negative to the device. So then that like for me that would be a value if somebody's making me feel comfortable. But then like Tony said, if it's price, then you have the cheap people who just want the cheapest thing possible. Well, maybe the guy down the street's doing it for $5 cheaper and you'll do it for 6, and then convincing the person to come in that way as well.
yeah, and it's the whole price war is just useless. I mean, I'll say this. I've said it before. I'll say it again. At all of our locations, we are the most expensive in every city that we're in, and we're busy. Like it's because when they put in a quote, when we call them, we don't talk about price. We talk about quality. We build a sense of urgency. We have it in stock, and we build that relationship, right? It's the whole, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. How did that happen? That is, you can't put a, I can't put a value on that, how important it is to actually be a human and not just be a self-checkout register of, oh, you want to know the price? Yes, it is $89. Click. Anyone can do that, but when you build some level of rapport with your customers, I promise you, it's just going to go such a long way. If you do that, you will make more money. It's not a question of if, it's you will, and then it's just a matter of how much more will you make. All right, so just so we kind of
Wait,
stay on topic.
let me add one more
Okay,
thing to that
okay,
one.
okay, that's fine.
I think it's really important for people to also understand what business they're in
Yeah.
because, a lot of the times people don't understand the value propositions they need to add. You guys are in a same day repair business. So when you don't stock parts, like if you're not going to phone LCD parts and buying parts all the time, no, thought that was funny. But
Woo!
I was laughing internally.
I'm not known for my humor. It's engineering. But you know, stocking parts is super important because you guys are in same day repair. If you don't have the part in stock, you guys literally just kill one of the most important value propositions that a
Yes.
customer is going to care about, which is getting their phone back as fast as possible. If you guys are doing phone repair computer, exact same thing. If you sit there and you can get a PlayStation 5 HDMI port done today rather than 3 days from now, you can probably charge more and you can probably get the customer in faster. And all you had to do was invest 20 cents into an HDMI port.
You can
I also
definitely
don't
charge
know
more.
how much they are now, but
Yeah, you can definitely charge more, 100%. I mean, that's without a doubt. Uh, yeah. I feel like we should have, I think next week maybe we'll have a whole conversation on that alone because that topic in of itself is you hit the nail on the head. We are same day repair. If you're not stocking parts, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's like going to an oil change place for your car, and they're like, "Well, buddy, let's set up an appointment. We don't have any oil here for you today." It's like, "Well, why did I
mhm.
show up here? Like, I'm here to get my oil changed." Like, well, we can't afford to keep all oil in stock. It's like, well, I'm not going to give you my business. I'm going to go to this place down the street to get my oil changed because I want it done now. So, yeah, but we'll stay on my repair app topics for now. That'll be another one. So that's
One last thing can I say
yes,
one last thing too? I
yes,
just want to say I wasn't even aware of this, but the widget is obviously free. Any shop can have it. This is something that I'm sure you've said 8 times and I didn't listen once, right? So
no,
just to say it again,
correct.
widget can be on any website. So even if you say, I have no need for a POS system, I'm fine. I see the widget as really a huge value add just for marketing, just for your website. Look at your shop and be like, what does it look like? There's definitely people out there with pretty weak websites. You get this thing just on your website, you plug it in. You have to download My Repair app first, I believe, but just having this on your website, if you have no need for a POS system, I see it as a huge value add. So I'll just say that
I
again,
agree.
just so people know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Like, so this is one of
Yeah.
our clients, one of our first clients, so I just like to pick on them a little. This is First Coast Tech. So they decided to take our advice and they put the quote widget right here rather than they used to just have this button right here, like get a quote. But if you think from the customer's journey, I go on the website, right? Okay, phone repair near me, found the website, clicked on it, and the first thing I see is something bouncing. My eye naturally goes here, and I guarantee you're watching, you probably looked at this right away. And then it's like, oh, quote, oh, yeah, I have a tablet. That's what I'm here for. And you can
Mhm.
immediately go ahead and go through the process and get your quote. And of course, you have everything else, but I feel like, I've been in web design before. I worked at a digital marketing firm. Is all nice, but this is why the customer is on your website. They're on your website because they broke their device and they want to know, can you fix it? When can you fix it? How much does it cost? This
Yeah.
should be front and center, 100%. There's no ifs or ands or buts about it. This needs to be front and center. And yeah, like Eric said, you could just put this on your website, and when a customer requests a quote, it'll go on the MyRepairApp point of sale. But if it'll also email you, giving you the best opportunity to get in touch with the customers because they're trying to get in touch with you, and so we're helping you do that. Thank you, Eric,
Yeah.
for that. Yeah, I appreciate it. Okay,
And we actually have a real good use case about that one too,
I swear.
where no, well, I mean, it ties right into exactly what he said. It was there was a store owner who was struggling, right?
Yeah,
Like they were on the brink of, you know, going insolvent. And then we literally told them, hey, just get the widget, put it at the top of your page, and
yep,
then they replaced the paid solution that they were doing, and it 4x the amount of quotes that they were doing. They converted most of them because they took our advice and they just contact them as soon as they come in. Yeah,
yep.
and did they do way more volume now.
Yeah, it's my
And
favorite
it's a
story.
simple change.
Yeah, that's my favorite story. I think we have stories where people have like, yeah, seen as much as 8,000 extra in revenue a month. But my favorite story is we were this close to closing, and then not even 6 months later, hey, we're so busy, we're now hiring someone. Specifically because of the quote widget. I mean, it's just it's a testament of how powerful it is, and it's not just a widget. It's getting that notification that same second and contacting the customer as fast as you can. Now, that leads me into another thing, which we'll talk about later, is oftentimes shops don't do exceptional at answering quotes, especially consistently. That is where our AI digital assistant Mary will handle that. We'll be releasing that very soon. So a text chatbot, whatever. Answering your phone calls is a whole nother thing. And so that'll be a thing we'll have very, very soon. And that'll revolutionize the business even further. But that's another story for another day. But I'm moving on to purchase orders and low stock alerts. So we're gonna actually go here. So first we're gonna do the low stock alerts, or we call them a reorder point. So you're gonna go to your admin dashboard from the homepage. So homepage overview right here, you'll see admin, press that admin button. And then on the right-hand side, you will see the button called Reorder Points. Press this. And this is where you can set up your reorder points. You can see all of your locations. So if you have multiple, or you can just filter by one at a time. So let's say I want to just do your store name. So let's say how this works. Let's say I stock anything, whatever I want to stock. iPhone 11, just for the sake of it, I want to stock iPhone 11 screens, right? And I want to keep um, 10 in stock. Oop, I'm not typing very well. I'm not sure if I have it. It's the wrong account. Let me see here. Probably should have tested this stuff earlier. Well, in any case, so you probably have to use the barcode. You get your item, get the barcode, scan the part, put it here. So right here, you edit this. So you'll see I have this, actually, that's probably why it is iPhone 11 right here, screen. So I have my reorder point. You'll see this little icon here tells me what it is. So when the stock level reaches this level, my repair app is going to suggest reordering this part. ROA is your reorder amount, which is the quantity to restock when you hit your reorder point. Meaning, if I want to stock 5 iPhone 11 screens, that's the minimum. Like once I hit 5 in stock, I want to order more because I don't want to run out of them. In the reorder point, I'm going to put 5. So once I hit 5, I have to order the amount that's here. The system will tell me. So I'm like, hey, once we hit 5, I want to order 5 more because I always just want to make sure that we have enough in stock. So you'll see now the restock level is 10. So reorder point is this is the point where whenever inventory hits that level, that's when I want to be reminded to place orders for that part or that device or that accessory. ROA is the amount that I need to order when I hit this level here. And that's it. That's a simple thing, right? You have when do you want to order it and how much do you want to order when you hit the ROP. So we'll go to inventory, hover over that, press purchase orders. And if you haven't seen our videos before, we do have integrations with these wonderful people. And we've also added mobile Enzo. They'll be on here as well in the coming weeks. So create a purchase order. You're going to press this button here. And this is the recommended method of adding inventory into your store. You can do various things. Again, it's all covered in our other tutorials, but you can import inventory through here. You go to settings, import data, inventory items. If you have a already an existing like a CSV or a file of sorts of your inventory, you would press here and then you can download our template and you can upload all of your inventory. So if you have 20,000 items in your store, but it's all on already like digitally tracked, you can upload everything at once.
And also, just to note there, because I know that this will be a question I talked about with somebody who signed up today. When you go into the settings, just for Tony, just where you just were,
Yep.
you can also upload your ticket history as well too. So
Oh,
I know that
absolutely.
I know quite a few people who signed up this week are going to be looking to do that. This is where you can go and you can pick, as you can see there, you can pick which company that you're moving you're moving that ticket history over from
Yep.
as
And
well.
then and so what you can do is real simple. There's this right here. You press this, it'll download the template that that company uses for their backend. And so you can just send it to their support staff and just say, hey, I need all my information. Please give it to me. Take it and then upload it here. And then you will have access to all of your previous history. I'm not going to click on it because there's actual data there. But then you'd be able to see, you hover over tickets, ticket history. You will then see all of your previous history tickets. So payments, notes, anything and everything that you possibly can have imported and exported will be visible here. So you don't lose track of anything. Real easy. But inventory, purchase orders, created purchase order. Here we are. Uh, that low stock alert that we just did, the reorder point is right here. You can find the reorder list here. So you can see all the different items. So right now I don't have to order 5 iPhone 11 screens because it doesn't, I don't have that low stock. But once my stock levels hit 5, this quantity to order would show 5 because I set my reorder amount as 5, right? If I had 4 in stock, this would then show 6. So depending on how you set up your ROP and your ROA, it will tell you here when you need to order stuff. If I want to just reorder everything, I'm going to push this button here, and every single one of these is like, hey, I want to restock. Time to restock. Everything that we used since we last created a purchase order, we're replenishing our inventory with the push of one button. Very, very easy, very simple to do. Uh, and there's a couple of ways you can go from here. So you can do it like this, and you can order manually from your vendor. What I would recommend doing, let's say you're buying from one or even two different vendors, I would take this, take the serial, take the SKUs, and go to Mobile Centrics, Injured Gadgets, PLP, WGP, Mobile Enzo's website, copy and paste this into their system, add the amounts into your cart. So this is just a good reminder, right, of what you want to buy. And so that way you can still take advantage of integrated purchase orders. Again, this is all covered in detail in our videos, but this way you don't lose out on what you need to order. You take that, copy into the vendor's website, buy it. Once you bought everything you needed to buy, I would personally delete this, go to the integrations, and click on the vendor you just bought those parts from, and it will then auto pool a purchase order with everything that you just bought from them. And then when the items come in, you would just reconcile it that you got it. So you would say, so for instance, let's say this right here. So this is an unreconciled purchase order. So we just bought all these items hypothetically, and the purchase order came in. Now, the benefit of this purchase order, using integrated purchase orders, if I can just grab my screen, is your employees can't edit things. They can't be like, oh, we didn't actually order that. And then In other words, scam you. All they can do is they can see, okay, quantity ordered one. Once I receive the amount we ordered, that red thing stops beeping, stops bumping around, right? Stops doing that. So all you have to do is once you get your package with parts, just go here and just say, yes, I actually received the amount I ordered. Once you do that, just hit the reconcile button. Everything you ordered will be put into your inventory automatically. It's as simple as that. Very, very easy to do, and it minimizes, effectively eliminates any employee mistakes. Jason, did I cover it well?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Just if you guys are trying to have employees and really scale and understand how to use inventory like a lot easier, definitely make sure you're using purchase orders because you're essentially creating that trail to where you can see inventory just a lot easier. And then also when you go to your metrics, it'll be a lot easier. And when you guys actually use your groups effectively, it'll automatically sort the like inventory into the categories that you assign them to, so you don't need to like always assign them, which is important for tracking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
Ultimate
mean,
stuff.
yeah, if you and when we say scale, right, some people get afraid of that word. We're not talking about opening up 10 locations, although you may want to open a bunch of locations, but maybe you don't want to open a bunch. Maybe you just want one or two, or even just one, but you don't want to be the one working 7 days a week holding the fort down. Nothing upsets me more when I look at the industry, I look at the groups, and people are like, I've been in the business 16 years. And then when we have an expo in Vegas or wherever, they're like, shutting my store down to go to Vegas for a week. And I'm like, it hurts me. Like, you have worked so hard to build your business, and you have to shut your store down because you haven't built processes that your employees can follow. We can help you with this. It's not actually difficult. It's not as scary as you think. Create purchase orders. This will help you track your inventory. So for instance, if I want to look at the history of an item, meaning I want to look at these iPhone 11s, if I want to track it, I have everything here. I can see how many I have in stock, how many are pulled on an active ticket, how many are unordered, how many back ordered. I can see everything. And then I click on activity history. I can look and see when they were used, on what ticket they were put on, who put it on the ticket, when did they do this, and I can correlate this with my security footage. So if I do encounter theft, I have a track record of everything. This allows you to scale your business. So even if you don't want more locations, if you want to be able to take time off your business and do other things with your life and know that you have a well-built business that is sustainable without you being there every second of the day, this is it. And I would highly recommend if you haven't yet joined the Facebook group, so it's called MyRepairApp User Feedback, as well as our Discord server, definitely join because we have a lot of really talented people in there that we have one individual who owns one store, only one store, but this year they've already done over 4,000 repair tickets, and it's May 29th. Then we have other individuals that have 12 stores and 16 stores. All these people do share feedback and they do share best practices. So if you want to plug in and learn from quite literally the best of the best in the industry, it doesn't cost you anything to join the groups and ask questions. They do share their feedback, they do share best practices. So that was purchase orders, low stock alerts, inventory management. I mean, this is pretty much that. It's the same. I think it's one and the same with purchase orders. Supplier integrations, we showed you that. That's really what I wanted to show you. And at that point, I want to hand it off to Taylor because Taylor, he's the one that talks to all of you guys, and he's the one that hears you with your questions about how do I do XYZ. And just want to make sure, we don't want to spend too much time on certain topics, but we'll address what we need to address. And then we'll open up the Q&A and we'll call it a day so that way we're not here forever. Taylor,
Wait, can I interrupt so we can be here for forever?
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. No. This is kind of to what you and I were talking about earlier, Tony. When it comes to like the design, why is the website designed the way it is as you close your stream? The reason why it's a little bit more playful, a little bit more dynamic, a little like that, is because you have to think the average employee that you guys are going to be hiring is going to be anywhere from like 18 to 25 most of the time. So when you think about when a lot of these other systems were started, these guys were like 3. So like the architecture and the design, they look at this and they're just like, this is a dinosaur, or like, I don't understand how any of this works. So that's why when you see stuff jumping around, there is a little bit more dynamic. That's why you see, especially in the 18 to 25 range, which is most employees, they can pick up the system super quick because it's just more of what they're used to. So I think that's just when you do the system, don't look at it through your eyes. Look at it through the eyes of you're going to hire someone. How fast can they pick it up? And then that's the value of the system because a lot of people are very biased and then they've used XYZ system for 12 years. And then they're like, oh, well, I don't understand how this works. Yeah, but it's not for you. It's for your employees to onboard as fast as possible so that you can get out of your business or do other things. Like nothing makes me happier when people can do other things than stay in your store because me and Tony have been there. We worked 60, 70-hour weeks staying stuck in the store. I remember Tony used to message me at like 10 doing iPad repairs, being like, dude, I'm so busy. I'm doing 60,000 this month, but I'm the only one at my store. I don't know how to close my register. Sorry, inside stores. But
Good times.
but no, yeah, right. But use the system for its pros, which is scale, get out of your business.
Definitely. And then
Yeah.
I went ahead and Taylor, I'm letting you share your screen so you can
Sure.
do what you need to do.
You may be getting some friend requests here, Tony. Just
Oh,
I'm getting
geez.
some messages of people trying to join in, but they can't click on your video on our Facebook user group. So just
I was
just
wondering what was
They
going
can
on.
they can just click on my personal page. It's a public profile, so that on my
it's
personal.
not.
It's not working, yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering why people were like asking that. And I was just like, what's going on? Why is all the stuff so like
Yeah,
low?
you need to make it public.
The video?
Yeah, because people are trying to join, and your post isn't public.
The knowledge is too valuable to make this public. I'm sorry.
Man, that's disappointing. I thought I literally went to my privacy settings and set it to public. It is what it is. Well, it's not like we're not going to do this again next week, and then the week after that, and the week after that.
Yeah. Don't
Yes.
we do the sales training with the SEMA next week though? Too?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I meant to do. We do have another training next week. In addition to this on Thursday, we'll have one on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. We will have Tanner from Acima, and he will be showing off our integration and showing and talking about how some of the most successful stores in the country do so well with Acima. So if you want to learn about leasing, do better in leasing, Tuesday, 4
Approvals,
p.m.
getting more approvals. A lot of
Yeah.
people that I talk to are having an issue with the SEMA not approving a bunch of not getting enough approvals from them. So that is what they're going to address as well. So to help the stores obviously get more approvals, which then helps you sell more devices. Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off there. But I guess I'll go ahead and share my screen here. So just for some of the newer members who joined on, we've had quite a bit of new members joining on this week, last week, and definitely the week before that. So what I'll do is I think we've answered a lot of questions here of items that I've spoken about with new people joining on. But there are some people who have signed up and they haven't seen on creating a ticket here. So I'm going to kind of go through just some of the basics here. I know I talked about this last week, but I know I just want to make sure I'm covering the basics here, or for new team members who are joining on this call as well. So maybe not the store owners who know how to create tickets, but other team members, because I know we've had quite an influx of new stores coming on. So on creating a ticket here, we're going to go to check-ins. If you're doing a quick sale, you can process those quick sales through the sale button here. We have repair. And then if you are doing buybacks, this is where you would process that. Now, I'll do a repair and then I'll show the trade-in as well, because that was a question I did have earlier today from somebody who signed up. So I will touch base. It takes no time at all to do that trade-in as well. So this is right here. This is how you create a ticket. This is it. So essentially, if it's a new customer, you're going to click on this new customer button and you're going to fill out the information here. For returning customers, you could search by name, phone number, or email. So if I go in here, you can see once I start typing in letters, names are popping up. I'm just going to use myself here. There's an area for store credit. This is where you're going to make notes on the customer's profile. And I always like to use the example of if it's a nice customer, maybe not so nice. This is where that information is going to go. And you can actually even make important notes as well. Now I do have another area for notes down here, as you can see, but this notes button is going to be associated directly with this ticket. So now that I have device, this button here, I didn't mention this last week, but it did come up this week in conversations. So if you are doing, maybe unique items, right? Like we have somebody who does buying and selling vacuums, or you get a drone or a pinball machine. I had somebody who joined on with us who had a pinball machine in the back that he was working on. You can go in here and just add it. You don't actually have to go into the back end of the device, or sorry, in the back end of the system to add a device. You can go in here and then go in and add that unique, that unique item. Is it a watch, whatever it may be. And then you can also do that with the parts here also. Now, and you're just going to follow the prompts as it says there. So let's say we have this is the device. So now that we have the customer's information, there's only 3 things that we need to do to create this ticket essentially. One is the device. So we're going to go to, let's say it's an iPhone 11. On here, this is an area where you could set up a checklist. This checklist here is actually a checklist that another store is using. Those checklists can be set up in the forms function. So when Tony was showing to upload the inventory, when he clicked on the settings button, you're just going to click that settings button, and then you're going to scroll, and it's at the bottom and it shows you forms. These are completely customizable. You don't have to have a lengthy form here. You can actually even have your employees sign off on it as well. Now we do have our forms are shareable, so you can go in, and that was in we did highlight that last week, where you can go in and actually see what a multi-store person is doing, and really just copy and paste and then tailor it to whatever you want to do there. Now that we have the device, we're going to add in what is the service we're providing, and then we're going to attach that part to it. So we have an iPhone 11 above. We're going to go to iPhone 11. Oh, I've got 2. Yeah, okay. iPhone 11 screen repair. So we're going to do a screen repair. I obviously highly suggest, it makes sense, put your pricing into the system here. But I did it intentionally, and I always do this intentionally because I just really want to show that you can change your pricing on the fly by clicking that pencil, and then we can go in here and put in whatever pricing that you choose. So now that we have the screen repair, we're going to click these 3 dots. This is the area here where you can add a discount. You can remove it, but we want to attach the part. Now, this came up under permissions this week with somebody who joined on. You can limit the amount of, if you want to empower your employees to give a discount, but you don't want them but you want to kind of cap it at, I don't know, say 10% or 20%, whatever that number may be. You can actually do that right from the dashboard. In our dashboard, you go to admin and then you click permissions and you can control that from there. But I'm going to attach the part here. So you can scan this with a barcode scanner. If you're using this on a tablet, you can scan it with the phone on the back with the camera. But I am going to type it in. iPhone 11 LCD. And you can see here it's attached to the part. That's it. Somebody who signed up actually earlier today, their thing was they wanted some simplicity. That was stated multiple times. I was very, this should take you under a minute. Obviously, this is a new system, when you're first getting going, but essentially once you get comfortable with this, which it shouldn't take you long at all to get comfortable with it, but once you get comfortable, this is under a minute to create tickets. I'm talking this through with you and taking my time and making sure that I show you, and I still think that was just about a minute. So yeah, I could literally go to save and save this ticket here. I will talk just a tiny bit. I know I talked about it last week, so I'm just going to kind of briefly overview just some of this, just for some of the new joins here. On here, we have an area where you can schedule appointments. We have, if you're using storage bins, I know a lot of you are, you can still use those. You can label what storage bins you're putting it into. If this is waiting for parts, this will if I leave this highlighted and checked, then it's going to automatically go into the waiting for parts category, which you'll see here once I save this ticket. This is the ship station that Tony was referring to. You can actually, it's just a really cool feature. Let's say FedEx is shipping you that package. You can just attach the tracking number to it and track it directly from the ticket itself. So you don't have to go to our great guys at Mobile Centrics or Phone LCD Parts. And going into Phone LCD Parts and figuring out what part goes with what ticket, you can just click on, you can just do it directly from here. We have cash, card, clearly. Now, other payment methods, there's so many ways to get payments in. We had one guy last week who joined on towards the end of last week, taking Bitcoin. If you want to account for that Bitcoin coming into your account, you can do that. These are customizable. So you can say that you're, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Bitcoin, whatever it may be. If an old person comes in and writes you a check, you can still account for that money properly in your system. We have our SEMA integration that Tony was talking about. We're going to have that coming up here in the near future. So there will be a lot of information when it comes to that as well. Now, on here, you can see the area for notes. This is the notes where you can do notes internally. You can display them on an invoice. And you can attach pictures as well. Yeah, that came up multiple times this week with different people who signed up. Printing, this was one today. We actually, throughout the week, we have an integration with PrintNode to make this a nice seamless printing when you want to print on different, on your different printers.
Let me chime in on that real quick.
Yes.
If you've never set up PrintNode yourself before or understand how the integration works, better not to use it, honestly. MyRepairApp's browser settings are so easy. It just goes off your browser settings. It's very, very simple. If you check our YouTube page, our channel, we do have a video we just released going over both in depth. Again, we have both, but if you've never used PrintNode, it's not that it's hard to learn. It's just, if you've never used it, you don't know, it's better just not to use the integration, because at the end of the day, you're saving like a quarter of a second. You can just hit the print button and it'll print just fine. And so whether you're using PrintNode or not, you can customize your receipts, customize your labels. It's all shown in depth in the video, so it's really, really nice. So just make sure you check it out. It'll teach you exactly how to do that.
Absolutely. Labels is still a hot topic here this week. That is something that we have rectified. The information is all on our Facebook user group with those videos as well. Did you have anything else, Tony? I know it's been a hot topic here. Did you have anything else you want to say just in regards to labels, because the questions are still kind of coming up a little bit?
I mean, it's super easy. The only people that have any questions about it are people trying to use the PrintNode integration and they just don't know how it works.
Okay.
It's you just have to, it's a little bit of trial and error with the print sizes, but if you go off and use the browser settings, it's a couple of seconds of work and you're done, and you're set up. Again,
okay.
If anyone has questions about any of that, like, we have an 11-minute long video where I dive really, really deep into it. It's very self-explanatory, but in my opinion, I think what I've seen a lot of problems is repair shop owners are doing 17 things at once, and they don't. You're doing too much, and so if you just if you can pause for 10 minutes and watch the video, it tells you exactly how to set it up, and it's a set it and forget it thing. Once you do it once, it's very easy. Just the tutorial shows you step by step where to click, what to do, and you're all set. So it's very straightforward. Um,
Perfect. And that video is on our Facebook user group as
it's
well
on
as YouTube, or
YouTube.
just
I'm pretty sure I
okay.
posted it there, but it's on YouTube.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and save this ticket here, and then I'm gonna quickly take you through the journey of the ticket board. This is obviously, we have it set up where you can send out automated SMS messages or emails. You can attach the link so people can track their device, so you don't have to worry about getting those phone calls every 2 minutes. What's the status of my device? What's going on with it? So it is cool. It's kind of like, I always use a reference. It's kind of like a Domino's pizza tracker, where like when you place an order online, you can track your pizza. Well, now you can track your device here. Now, once I save this ticket here, it's going to pop up the ticket board. It is just going to take a second between. This is our demo account. Plus, I do have a million tabs open, as you can see. So it's just going to take a second, but also the good thing here is that when you update the tickets, you're going to have the ability to send out those automated text messages or emails, letting that customer know that their device is in repair, ready for pickup, essentially. So this ticket board is customizable. You can customize it right here with this create new list. Waiting for customers in B2B, you're not going to see this when you get set up. This is custom. We added these into the system ourselves. This is the waiting for parts category that I mentioned just a moment ago. And yeah, this is the ticket board here. So there's information here on this ticket. Now you can control what info that you want to see. I know a lot of people want the ticket number. So if I go to settings here, and I want to update it, if I go to ticket preference, and I go to ticket board, this is where I can update that information here. And I just have to turn it on or turn it off. So on here, and that's where I would be able to turn on the ticket numbers. Now, it's just a drag and drop. You can see I'm using this on a laptop on a small screen. We have guys, and there's been posts about it, of people have actually set up like a nice big TV screen in the back of their shop where their techs are working, and literally just leave it on the ticket board. This will automatically update. So if somebody at the front is doing different things and updating statuses, they'll be able to see it on that screen there. And you can have like 50 or 60 tickets. Definitely, there's multiple shops doing that. It looks really sharp, and it's just a nice way to stay organized. Now, so you can see, I did mention when you put it into, let's say it goes into repair, this is the option here where you can send out those automated text messages or emails. I'm going to drop this into repair. We're going to say the ticket's done. We're ready to go. Customer is in the store and ready to pay. You can click on, if I click on any of these tickets, it will open it up and you can add in information. So I'm just going to click on this here, but at any point, you can go in and be like, okay, I need to add this, this, and this to this ticket, or update whatever it may be. You can do that here. The other thing is that you can actually take payments anytime. Even before I created that ticket, I could have taken that payment of whatever amount. So if I wanted to take, let's say, a $50 deposit, it would look the exact same as this. So now I've taken the $50 deposit. You can see the remainder owing. I'm going to settle out the rest of the money here and submit payment. So now that is at $0, I can close the ticket. I cannot close it until I have this settled. And literally, we don't have to exit this screen and then drag it into the close. This came up. This was a question I had this week. Just press the close button right here. Now, this is, a lot of stores love this. This is another value play, is that On this, you can send a text message or an email. And in this automated text message or email, you can actually put a link to get a review. The more reviews, the better your SEO, the better the SEO, the more you're going to get shown organically, and you don't have to pay for those clicks. So if with this, like if this was my store, I would let that person know, hey, I just sent you a text. Do you mind like doing at least 5 stars for me real quick before you head out? Like get that person to press that at least a 5-star button for you to get that review in. The other thing too, I know a lot of stores like to do this as well, is adding like a $5 off coupon for your next visit or whatever promotion that you want to do, but you can also send the receipt as well from this. So this area here, I had multiple people this week sign up just because of this feature. Now you can set this feature for when you intake devices. So when you're taking devices in, and then we're in the process right now of giving the device back. What this is essentially you can have the customer sign off on whatever information you want them to sign off on. Is it your terms and services? Is it work to be completed or that was completed? Whatever you want, this is just going to help you alleviate some of those potential problem customers down the road when they're saying that you did work that wasn't done or whatever it may be. If you have their signature there, this is going to help. This is, again, fully customizable. All the forms are fully customizable. So, you know, you can make it short like this, or you can make it really long. And it's just kind of up to you. And you can see what other stores are doing too. As I said, all the forms are shareable. This here is just really assigning who did what work in the store. So if you have somebody who signs up, if you have somebody who's working the front till, and then you have a tech in the back, then you can assign to whoever's doing what. And that's really it. That's really it when it comes to creating and managing those repair tickets. If you want to see close tickets, I'm going to go to here, and I know we are getting almost to the hour mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through just doing a quick buyback. This is the closed tickets. You can search by these many different methods here, from name, email address, ticket number, serial number, right here in the search bar. And if you want to pull it up, and let's say it's a return, you're just going to click on the ticket, and you're going to go to return warranty. It's going to reopen the ticket and just follow the prompts from there. So I'm going to go back into doing a check-in, and we're going to go to trade-in. So as you can see, it looks pretty much the same as the last screen here. Sorry, my screen's just kind of lagging here for a second. So I'm gonna put myself in here real quick. And for customer trade-ins, all you have to do is just press the add device button right here. And we're just going to follow the prompts of what device that you want that you're basically taking as a trade-in here. So I go to phones,
I think all those tabs, your computer's about to explode.
It is what it is. Maybe somebody needs to sell me a new computer.
Hey, someone, come on, chime in, get them
right?
64 gigs of RAM. Let's go.
So, yeah, we're literally just following the prompts of what the device is here. What's the condition, color, etc. So now that we have this information, how much are we going to pay? Let's say we're going to pay $500. And we're going to go next. We're going to confirm the information here.
And I do want to also say regarding the trade-ins, we do have some really cool improvements that we feel like are coming soon. So as good as it is, it's going to be really great, even better. So we got some really cool stuff just coming down the road. So just keep an eye out on that for sure. We'll have some stuff.
So you could see here, this is the amount that's due that we're going to pay out, and you can actually even send this quote as well to that person. That's essentially it when it comes to processing this through.
But also there,
Yeah.
right there in ticket overview, so you'll see
Yep.
the same place in trade-ins and in a repair ticket. You can, of course, do a repair slash sell them a device as well or accessories, whatever. So as in the same trade-in ticket, you can continue and do other things. And anything that you sell, whether it's a product or service, it'll deduct the difference from that $500 that you're paying. And so if you are selling, whatever, $200 worth of product or services, then instead of paying them 500, you pay them 300, right? So it auto calculates everything. So it'll just adjust automatically.
Yeah. Yeah. So right here we did the S21 Galaxy trade-in for an iPhone 11.
By
And
the
that's
way,
exactly
I do want to tell you, S21, $500. If you're paying that much, that's a problem. You probably take a zero off of that, and that's probably more realistic.
I have an S21. I was hoping to get more. I was hoping to get $500 here from somebody.
Yeah,
I'll trade it for a new computer.
I'm not. We're not Verizon over here. We're not giving out that kind of trade-in credit.
So I'm gonna discard the ticket here. So the thing is that if I hop off of this, ticket, it is gonna create a ticket. So I just want to make sure I hit discard. That was done intentionally in here because I know I got a message about that this week, or was that last week? But yeah, one of these weeks. So we are at the hour mark here. Yeah, what are your thoughts here, Tony? Do we have any questions or anything that we can kind of jump into and
Surprisingly, no. I'm not seeing any. I don't know if Jason, you see any, but I'm not really seeing any questions. I'm kind of surprised because last week we had like we couldn't keep the questions for.
It was our first one. So,
Yeah,
and this is the
it was
second one too, as well. So for the people who couldn't get in for, I guess, privacy reasons on whatever was going on there, that this is our second training. So the more we do, the better they are going to get. But yeah, we'd love to, if there's any questions from the Facebook, or I can't see the question. I'm not looking at the Facebook questions right now, but yeah.
Yeah, and to kind of touch on that before anyone adds if they have any Q&A, is the idea behind this is, again, we do have like pretty much everything we're covering. We do have a recorded YouTube video somewhere about it, but everyone learns differently. Some people just want to have a little bit of that, one-on-one or just a Q&A, and that's fine. And so what we do is we also are polling questions as far as, hey, what are one, two, three, four, whatever, five things you want us to discuss? Kind of like we did in the very beginning, we addressed like the quote tool, we addressed invoicing and things of that nature. So we addressed the things that were like hot topics, and then the second half is basically going over the simplest, most important things to kind of get started. Like, how do you make a ticket? Just simple stuff that we feel simple. Just kind of want to do that. And again, yeah, this is our second one. We'll do more, and we will keep improving. And just, if anything, we might even move these to two a week and break them down to maybe they're only 30 minutes long. So that way we can kind of cover more topics without having to have them be so lengthy, because not everyone can be here the entire time. So we'll see. But we might do two a week, but we'll see.
And I'm going to just share my screen real one more time here. I know that I talk to everybody who joins on. I guide you through the process here when I get you into the system, using it and set up. And I know I point this out to you, but I do want to just highlight it again. So if you, after going through videos and you have questions, like it's not a bother at all to ask questions and have your staff ask questions. Like get your team. You don't have to be bothered by your team members asking you how to do things. Like you can tell them pretty much what I'm telling you is come in here to the support, right? Like if you see this little, like see how this bubble is bumping right now for chat features, if that's jumping, that means we've responded to you. And the way you create these tickets, we click on the support button here. You could search, up here for whatever you want, right? I usually like to use the I for inventory management, right? Because that's usually a hot topic that we talk about here. So you can go in and see and ask your questions, right? So if you're having an issue setting up your Square terminal, right? Like I just when like if I go in here and I start typing in you have Square terminal integration setup. This is going to guide you through.
I
Sorry,
completely forgot that we had that guide. That's funny because we actually just had someone who signed up, I think yesterday, and he literally just put in a ticket like 5 minutes ago saying, "How do I set
Yeah.
it up?" So I'm gonna send that his way. I forgot
I
what.
sent I sent that to him yesterday. So
That's
I know who
funny.
you're talking about. So he may just need an extra helping hand there.
I love it.
Um,
Fine.
so yeah, I did send that. But on here, so outside of that, so like after going through this, this is a perfect example, right? So after going through this, and if you like, and you go through, you see the Square setup, when you go through the Square terminal setup, and you're still having an issue, this is the perfect example of being like, okay, go in here and hit the contact center, and then this is where you can go in and create a ticket. You're going to be able to see what your status of the ticket is, and yeah,
Well,
create
in
your
addition to
ticket.
that, in addition to the status, when you hit view details, what's really important is, especially if you have multiple locations, you can keep an eye on every communication that any of your staff have with our staff. This is one of the better parts of this versus emails or this versus your staff asking you questions is if your staff have questions, they can go ask questions to our staff here, and then you can see everything that any employee is asking at any of your locations about anything. And so you can see how we did it, how we fixed it, or what questions were asked. So it's full transparency. And again, like Taylor said, our ultimate goal is for you to tell all your staff if you have any questions related to My Repair app, click that button, ask there. That is, we have, you have a dedicated account manager to you. You can ask questions there, they'll respond to you. And that's really what we want you to do. We want you to take advantage of that because we're trying to save you time and take that off your plate.
And like as happy as I am to be there for everybody, because I do get a chance to talk to everybody, it's this way when it goes through support, it's getting directed to the appropriate channels, right? Like if you want to, so this way you can get the appropriate response. So you don't have to contact me. And if I'm on a call, it might take me a few seconds before I can text you back and be like, hey, I'm on a call. You know what I mean? You can just go directly to support. It's going to be your fastest method of communication. Now, like I say to everybody, if you're not happy with support, if for whatever reason that may be, that's when I come into play. Let me know because I'll go talk to the support team and figure out what's going on here with you because customer service and support, and I try to make sure I tell this to everybody, but it is so important and so valuable to us. Like
Yep.
we're not charging you for these onboarding sessions. We're here. We want to go the extra mile to make sure that you have a smooth process in transitioning over, but you also know all the features. We're launching new features. We have really good new features that are going to help you drive more revenue to your stores coming up soon, and just making sure that you get the full experience and that you can have the best experience with us possible.
Yeah. And also
Can I add
actually,
something to that? No.
yeah, well, no, go ahead and add that, but I'm going to take away the screen share real quick.
Oh yeah, I forgot I was sharing. There we go.
Yeah. So, one of the reasons why we put the support and designed it the way that we did, if, as an example, I've had stores, Tony has stores. If I have the only problems that should be coming to me as the owner, if I have a manager and I have employees, the only problems I want coming to me are the most ridiculous problems that like I know an employee can't handle. If it's something that's like, hey, this looks weird, okay, just submit it to support. Like that is something that we want it accessible to staff, managers, things like that to take it off of the owner's plate. It puts it onto ours, so it's kind of the con to it. But it should take off a lot of stress from the owner to be able to put it onto support and have it work for you.
Especially when 70% of those questions they can probably just chat GPT, but that's another story. Um, but 100%, like we don't want your employees bothering you for questions that at the end of the day shouldn't be asked to you. But I did want to go back and double check, so I got it taken care of. So just going back to the reorder points, you actually don't have to type in the SKU. I just had a little, I don't know, internet issue, but if you're setting up the reorder points, again, you can literally just type whatever. So like I don't have a lot of items in this account. That's all I have. But if I just type in iPhone, anything I want to add to my reorder points, I just press it here and then it gets added to each location, or I can just do one location. And then I can set my reorder points. So I just want to show is that easy. You just type in the device, you can click it or scan the barcode, and you're all set. Super easy. Just wanted to revisit that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, yeah, we're definitely over the hour mark, and I apologize if for I apologize to all the Erics out there that are here with us.
Apologize. This is great. This is great. You guys want to stay another hour?
This is the
Yeah.
best part of my Thursday afternoon.
This is the best part of my
People need to
week. That's
sign
it.
up.
This is it.
I have multiple stores waiting to get signed up here. I can't stay another hour.
Yeah, well,
Oh
Taylor, I think yeah.
man.
So
All
we'll,
right, fine. Fine, guys.
you know what we can do actually,
Yeah.
Taylor. If you have calls to get onto, then you can hop off, and I'll just answer any last questions. I figure
Sure.
just in case, I don't want to hinder people's innate desire to join my repair app and actually get an account.
Okay.
As weird as that
Their
works.
Sounds good.
innate
Have a good day,
desire.
everybody.
Thanks,
I'm out
Taylor.
of here.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
You
Bye.
do.
Thanks for having me. See you guys later.
There.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Taylor. I'll see you in 30 seconds anyway. But yeah, so any questions, feel free to chime in. But also, again, if you didn't get a chance to ask it now, again, the support button down here, just the best way to get in touch with us, and we'll answer all your questions. Eric, anything for me today? Oh, Eric's gone too. Okay.
Yeah, everybody left, Tony. Everybody thought you were ending the call.
Well, I mean, I was just kicking Taylor off the call, but anyhow.
Yeah, I will say this. I think it's kind of interesting because, especially recently with the API integrations.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worth it at some point, the way we did it with like forms and other things, to open up a section for people to like mess around with APIs? Because Cameron did the same thing, right? He had that thing. You think?
Yeah. I mean, we can. So I'm still recording this. Gonna put this on YouTube, but I guess I'll just cut it off. Okay. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. It's for people like if that's
Okay.
something that
I just wanna
interests
make sure.
people for like, if we want to add a section for, because there are some users like Derek has done stuff where he's done some things with like if you want to integrate Ring Central using our API, like he's released files, things like that. Like it provides a lot of value. But yeah, I mean if that's something that really interests a lot of people, that let us know.
Easy. All right. Well, everyone's gone. Look at that. That was nice. Nice and easy. I'm actually kind of well, to be fair, I mean, it makes sense. We didn't really get a lot of questions because everything's kind of answered in the trainings. So
It's
cool.
working.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining. And again, today is Thursday, May 29th. We will have another call. We actually have two next week. So we'll have another onboarding slash training call next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, just the same. So that is going to be June 5th. But then also next Tuesday at June 3rd, 4 p.m. Eastern, we will be here with Acima. We'll be here with Tanner from Acima. And Tanner is going to share some really great things about our integration, but also just about Acima in general. Best practices, how stores are absolutely crushing it, and how you can crush it too. Cool. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.